I just bought this boat and I have no idea how to sail. In fact, I have no knowledge of boats and sailing in general. And to top that off, I have to get this boat out of this marina into its new marina tomorrow. And just to make matters a little bit worse, I actually have to sail this boat. I think it's about 120 nautical miles to its new home marina. And I mean, I guess I am stupid enough to just buy a boat with zero experience, but I'm not quite stupid enough to try and sailing that boat home on that trip. So I feel like it's gonna be a pretty long night trying to figure out a solution for tomorrow.
And it just pushed us to the docks so violent. Happy days, happy guys.
Nice. We're sailing. A beautiful, quiet, sunny morning here in the marina. And just to make things even better, I have some very good news. I found a solution to my big problem. But before we get to that, I just want to sit here and enjoy my coffee for a bit. And then I thought I'll just show you the boat real quick so you know that what we're dealing with, not like a full boat tour or anything, just so you know where we are, basically. Now, she is a 51-year-old boat, and obviously that will show in a lot of ways. And I'm sure I'll have plenty of projects on her because she is an old, cheap boat. But one of the main selling points for me was that in a boat at this price and size, I'm actually able to stand up in here. So it has a pretty good headroom. I mean, I am 185. Here we have a tiny little galley kitchen. On the other side, a little nav station. And from there, we just move into the salon. Here, there is a table you can put up. And this table right here goes out in the cockpit. So you can sit and eat out there as well. Moving through the salon, down the end of the hallway is the main bedroom. And the previous owner put on a proper mattress, which I am very thankful for. I slept like a baby here last night. And on the right side, just a little closet. And on this side, we have the head, which is just a hand flushing marine toilet. So regarding, well, my savior, I guess, I have a good friend who lives, well, not too far from here. And I think he's actually the only person I know who knows how to sail. So I just called him and I'm like, mate, can you save me? And he is such a legend. And he's just like, yeah, let's do it. So he is on his way now here this Sunday, very early morning. And then we're going to sail this boat home. What a legend this guy is. There he is. What a guy. Here he is, the legend himself.
The one and only.
Can you introduce yourself?
Some kind of sailor sometimes, Lasse Hammer. Back in the day we met in Bali in a gym. But yes, they shanghaied me to do a little sailing trip because they were clever enough to buy a sailboat, even though they never sailed before.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a brilliant idea because that's exactly how I learned, and it's the best way to go about things. Just fucking do it and figure out what works and what doesn't. And it's little Denmark here, so we'll be safe in the coastal waters. So we're gonna have a bit of, not a storm coming in, but we'll have some decent weather, 22 knots. But it's gonna be kind of coming from the back, so we'll hopefully just sail away into the sunset, and it'll be beautiful sailing. I think we'll get some decent speed, good knots, and the waves are coming kind of from behind, so Adam might get a little seasick, but we'll see if it doesn't work out. But all in all, I think it's going to be a freaking beautiful day of sailing. And if we're doing this well, we'll do it in one trip. And yeah, in just about 24 hours, we should be landing at Moon. Not too shabby, huh?
Nice. Thank you, mate. Thanks for the help.
Happy to help, man.
Let's get going.
Yep.
It's a yacht flag.
It's the yacht flag. Så kommer vinden lige det, man sætter det i.
Beautiful, man.
Altså, it's gonna be a beautiful day. Ja, du skal sejle. Ja, det bliver hyggeligt.
Vamos.
Vamos.
Kan jeg?
Det her, det er sat på lidt sammen på. Så tænder vi fri derude.
Ja. Fri.
Ja.
Du er clear. Nice.
Kæft, det er nemt.
You like the bow thruster?
Det er for nemt. It's too easy. It's always a little nerve-wracking when you kind of have to get out, but it's always easier than you think.
Yeah.
But usually people on the bridges and the boats are very good at helping.
Good to know.
They're all sailors, they've all been in shitty issues, so they all know how much appreciated a good hand can be.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful days. Best start to a little ocean adventure.
As I have absolutely no sailing experience, it is such a gift to have a friend like Lasse on board, not only to help me get the boat home, but also to teach me a little bit about sailing along the way.
When you want to pull out the jib, generally you want to be against the wind, but since we're sailing with the wind, we have a bit of speed, we should be able to pull it out fairly slow without giving it a bit of a tear. So, what you need to do first is make sure that this line here is free, because that's the furler. When you need to pull it back in, you have to have that available, which means now that we pull it out, this is going to be pulled towards the rolling thing up here. So this needs to be free. So available here. I would want to hold this slightly, so you kind of control. Yeah, a bit more to the right. Starboard side, of course. And since both the lines on the top is going to be pulled out a bit, we need to free this one over here as well. Then we go to the other side. The wind always decides. You got no say here.
The other side. Woohoo!
Not too shabby, huh?
Heavy, man.
Happy days, happy guys.
Nice. We're sailing.
We're sailing.
We are on our way.
On the way to Moon.
Vamos.
Vamos a el mar.
Nice. This feels right. Now we're sailing. I like it. I think it's going pretty well. We're doing about what,
Five knots? 50 knots?
5 or 6 knots, and it's pretty smooth, and we are just about to head out of the channel here, so I think we're gonna turn off the engine now completely, because there are no more obstacles, so
And that's the beauty of sailing.
so let's do it.
I got it. Yeah. There we go. That's a. If that
There we
ain't
go.
a fucking beautiful thing.
That noise or the lack of noise. All right, I think we're about 2 or 3 hours into our voyage, and it's been going pretty well, I think. Not that I have a lot to base it on. We have been, I guess, riding the waves with the wind behind us, doing 5 or 6 knots, and it's a little bit, what do you call it? Like
Rolly.
Very rolly, so I did perhaps get a little bit seasick and threw up a little bit, but it's
All in all, he's doing pretty well, I'd say. It's just when the waves are coming from behind, you roll a lot, and then he had to go down to the interior for a bit. And when you're in there and it's rolly, not the best for a newbie on the waters, I'd say. But
it is what it is.
always in sets, so usually 3 or 4 at a time. Gives it a bit of roll, which can be hard downwind, but so far it looks pretty good. Wind picked up a bit in the right direction, so I'd say we're going about between 6 and 9 knots, and we're actually staying the course. So if you know anything about sailing, that's pretty fucking good, because usually you have to go there and you start by sailing that way, but so far so good. The great Danish marvel Storebæltsbroen. There's one thing we're proud of, is this hangable suspension bridge. Very nice.
Storebæltsbroen connects the islands of Zealand, where Copenhagen is located, to the island of Funen, and from there to Jutland. So this bridge was a pretty big deal when it was built, as it basically connected most of Denmark by car. But as we were passing under the bridge, the wind was really starting to pick up, and with that my seasickness as well. So we decided to try and seek shelter in a nearby marina in the city of Koser. But the wind decided to make that pretty difficult for us.
Okay, we made it ashore.
Beautiful.
We are in the city of Koser, where we just tied up in the marina after kind of a hectic entry. Do you want to tell us about what happened?
A nice bridge to begin with that we wanted to dock, but the wind was just pushing from the side, and it kind of just aggressively, I don't know, got more potent the wind, and it just pushed us to the docks so violently, so we kind of had to do a clever little maneuver where you hit someone on the dock. Luckily we had a nice friend who could help us, someone on the dock, so we could pull out the back end and then reverse quickly away from the bridge and get around and sail further in the marina. And luckily we found a decent spot where there's a little bit more calm waters, and the wind has not died down, but it doesn't affect us as much. So all in all, pretty good start to Koser. It's a beautiful church.
Beautiful church, and now we are heading downtown Koser. And we've never been here before, either of us, so perhaps I'll, after the fact, can do a little voiceover and share some nice facts about this beautiful town.
Well, absolutely. So Koser is home to about 14,000 people. It has a strong maritime industry and history, and it is a pretty old town, with the oldest written record being from 1241. But people have been living here since like the Viking Age and probably earlier.
We've been walking for about an hour from the marina. We are trying to find a McDonald's because we need some calories, and we're kind of lost. We can see the McDonald's out there in the distance, but we're stuck in some kind of a
bush,
and
we're about there. It's been a full day, no food, stuck on the water. Now finally we'll get to the oasis and be fed.
have a look at some coin offers.
picture in my mind.
Good morning from Koser. It's 6 a.m. Beautiful morning. Got ourselves some cup of coffee, some breakfast, and then we're about to head out. And now we're gonna do the last leg to Møn, to this boat's new home marina. So I'm thinking, Lasse, can you tell us about the trip and the weather today? What are we expecting?
So yesterday we ended up with a bit of a rough patch. When you don't see other sailboats out, that's usually a good indication that it's fun to sail. Yeah, it was a bit rough. So today, luckily, we've checked out the waves and it's calmed down a lot. So hopefully we won't be rolling as much, and we can get Adam a bit more behind the helm, so he can get a bit more training in. Because the first few hours will be kind of open sailing, and then it'll be channel sailing from then on out. And that's probably going to be motoring most of the time. If the wind's right, we'll try it, but it's very narrow, so we'll see how it goes. But so far so good. The waves looks less, and the wind, even though it's still a bit rough, it's not nearly as bad as yesterday. So I think we're gonna be all right.
I could never walk away. The giving ground, no back and forth. I promise you I'm always yours. And you're always mine.
Yes.
Sometimes love is brief. Sometimes love takes time. Like the old oak tree. The two of us will rise. The two of us will rise.
Ja, vi så træk. Nej, det er satan.
What's the plan?
So just before we hit the channels, we're gonna try and pull up the mainsail, just because we haven't had it up yet, and we just want to see if it's in good order, if it works out well, and just because I never tried a furler from the boom before, so also just for my curiosity. So we'll pull in the jib, head upwind, pull in the jib, and then roll up the main and see how it goes. Hopefully I reckon we'll get about the same speed, about 4 knots. I think we're doing 4.5 now, so we'll see what the change is, but just to give it a go, let's see what happens.
So we're about to sail under a couple of bridges here, and well, I think they're both actually called Storstrømsbroen. So there's the new one that they're building. It's just gonna be bigger and being able to handle more traffic that will come down from Germany, as they're also building a huge tunnel down there called Femern. So they gotta be ready for that kind of traffic that's coming up. But then they're building that bridge, and then the old bridge behind it, they'll just demolish that afterwards. So that will be the second and the third bridge we're gonna pass under today, but not the last.
A small town in a little oasis where my big dreams were gonna take me places. I would make bets with the rising sun and tell him all I had done. Late night walks into Lindbergh Park, and sometimes I'd kiss a girl even after dark, and I never had to shout, 'cause I could hear my thoughts out loud. I just wanna make you proud. And Little Falls, you're a small town, honey. Rich in love, but not in money. Even if I change my tempo, not gonna let go of everything you meant to me.
We pass under a couple more bridges, with the last one being Mørnbroen. And this one is also a signal that we are getting very close, as this is the bridge that connects to the island of Møn, where we are going.
Day 2 coming to an end, which means that the journey is coming to an end. 2, let's just call us sun-kissed guys, arrive in Stee in just about 30-40 minutes. It's been a bit of channel sailing the last couple of hours, but it's been beautiful, so it's really nice. This is blowing off. I'll just get more tan. All in all, I think it's been a decent learning curve, but there's still some more to be taught.
We're still alive, we still have the boat. I've put up the sail, taken down the sail. Pretty good. Done some stuff.
We spent the last hours motoring through the narrow channel that will lead us to the marina. But the weather is beautiful and we couldn't ask for more. And finally we can see the city of Stee, and we've arrived. Approaching the marina, Lasse tells me to take the helm and, well, dock the boat, which I will say is pretty terrifying. On the first try, I come in at way too much of an angle and I hit one of the poles in the water just straight on. Whoops. It takes me a few more tries, going in circles and trying to get back in, but finally I pulled way back and, well, started the approach again, went straight instead, and then did a 90-degree turn into the spot. And would you look at that, I successfully docked my sailboat.
Made it to me.
Made it to me.
And waiting for us in the marina, my lovely girlfriend Sally and our little baby captain, who will both join me for the many upcoming adventures we'll hopefully do on our new sailboat. So subscribe if you want to see what we'll get up to. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next ocean adventure.